What's up? Another day, another dollar here, and I'll be back at it again, another video. And today is a nice, beautiful day. And today, what I'm gonna be doing is starting working on a thing that actually kind of started on my channel because we actually hit 102 subscribers. Probably wasn't today; it was probably a couple days ago, but we did hit 102 subscribers. So, if you do mind, just like and subscribe for this video, and then the aim for is 200 subscribers. You're just gonna keep them going up from there. But let me flip this camera around and let me show you guys. So, yeah, we're gonna be starting off the moped. This is actually what started my channel and actually started me working on a lot of things. And I have a couple short videos I posted on Snapchat a couple years ago, like the engine blowing up a couple times. I probably, if I can find a video, I can put in there. I was actually working on it in my garage, but it do runs. I just had to do some carburetor work, and then the battery is out and it's actually in my bike. So but I have a spare battery sitting right there. It's dead though, but I have to put some jumper cables on that thing and that thing can start right up. So let's get on to it. I want to move everything over there. It's kind of like, I can work on it right here. It's a pretty nice day. But yeah, I'll show you guys what I have to go and do. Okay, so let me tell you guys about the moped and stuff like that. First thing, I know it's just a moped, but sometimes you never know when everything starts off. Me working on cars and stuff like that, my dad taught me when I was a little kid a little bit, but that's when I started getting older. My first car was actually a 2002 Chrysler Sebring, and I didn't know how to work on cars as much. I did a little bit stuff, like I did speakers, oil changes, brake pads, rotors, very like the bare minimum of stuff like what people can do. But after a certain point, when I got into really the moped, that's when I started having a lot of issues. And it's kind of like it was a lot of videos on YouTube that a lot of people post, and then I was just learning off of that. I did the first big bore kit, so I took apart the motor and stuff like that for the very first time, and it didn't blow up that time, but it blew up because stock, I didn't know, but with these Chinese mopeds, when you first buy these things, and even for the bike too as well, because it is a Chinese bike. This is not Chinese, it's actually just, I got it for free, but we ain't talking about that one. That's in the future videos on what we're gonna do to that one, but that's in the future. But for this one, when you buy these things, you want to adjust the valves. So they come very, very tight. In the valves. So when you first buy these things, you have to adjust it. I didn't do that thing because I didn't have the knowledge, and I was taking it to work a lot of times. I used to work for Amazon, so I used to go like 20-25 miles just driving like the stock 50cc, and randomly when I was going to work, it blew up on me. So, but just for you guys don't know, for the people who's watching or not, the new people who's watching my videos, this is the stuff that, you know, I give you a little rundown of what the stuff I did. So it's just big bore kit. Technically it's 100cc big bore kit. Technically it's not 100, it's like kind of like a 82 cc's, but it say 100, but it is what it is. Yeah, 100cc big bore kit, a 150cc carburetor. I have a CDI, aftermarket CDI that takes off the rev limiter. Do have an upgraded ignition wire, upgraded spark plug, and then from there just got exhaust, port and polish the heads to fit the 150cc stock 150, no, not stock, but aftermarket exhaust. And then from there it's just, I have the stock clutch that I have to change. That's part of future mods. And I also got a rear gear set up on this. So this is by me doing all this work. Stock of these mopeds really come out the factory to like maybe 25 miles per hour. You could possibly push it to like 30, maybe 35, kind of depending on how much you weigh, because it's not really that much power to pushing these things. So kind of average of everybody who in the world that weighs, usually this thing can go around like 30 miles per hour. Probably 32 on a long thing. But going uphill and stuff like that, if you live in an area that's a lot of hills, roughly you're going to be going like 25, 27, maybe pushing 30. But of all these mods I did, I actually have a post a couple years ago before it's a GPS speed. Before I even did a lot of these mods, transmission was stock. Did not have the rear gear, nothing like that. I still had the stock 50cc carburetor and stuff. I actually hit 55 miles per hour. So now I'm probably hitting that 55 miles per hour easily. But I did not have a GPS speed. So probably one of these days, it's getting warming out. Then I'm going to probably test it out and see my top speed. But that's it for us talking. For me talking. So it's not really problems with it. The only thing that I just have to do is I didn't run this thing in a while, so that means the carburetor is definitely clogged. So I just had to take off the carburetor, clean off the jets, the same reason how I did on the bike and stuff like that. When the carburetor and stuff like that stuff was clogging the carburetor, I just had to do the same thing for the bike. So yeah, so that's it for me talking. So I guess today's video for this to go and support you guys for 100 subscribers. I'm gonna start this thing up. I'm gonna work on it, get this thing started up. Cross the fingers, it actually starts up easily. And then from there, we're gonna pump up the tires and we're gonna do a nasty burnout. Well, we're gonna try to do a burnout. I know it did it before, but yeah, we're gonna do a burnout somehow. Yeah, because I did have a video a little bit back ago. If I do find it, I put it to right here. It's gonna cut and go to that video of me doing the burnout on the moped that my friend was recording. So I'm back, and the one thing I do recommend for people who's driving these mopeds, they ain't reliable at all. Can't even tell, like, really, the time you start pushing them out of power, you start upgrading things like that, they ain't reliable, not one bit. And these are just out of my experiences for stuff you should change and for stuff for you to have. So everybody's want to do a big bore kit because these things are slow. So these are the tools that I recommend to have. I do recommend to bring yeah, make sure you bring a Phillips screwdriver or flathead, that too as well. And also bring a toolkit right here. So some of the stuff that I have that's in here that's should not be in here. Like this is for grams, so you can do the roller weights and measure the sizes. So when you change it out the roller weights inside the transmission, I definitely do recommend to buy it, or just, you don't have to have it in the moped, but I just have it in here so I don't lose it. And sometimes it's always good to bring an extra coil pack, because these things are nice, it's good, but I'm telling you, they do not last long at all. Some people probably can push a little bit longer than normal, but these things are cheaply made, very cheaply made. So, and that actually happened to one of my if you guys know my boy Oliver. He was riding to, like, if you guys know the Long Island area, we went to Long Beach, and then after that his whole entire ignition wire actually broke. So it actually broke off, and I'll show you guys. Yeah, it actually broke right here. He had the same one as mine. It broke right in here. So what I had to do is these things can take apart. So I'll show you guys here. So you literally take this off and you can spin this wire out. So I'm gonna show you guys right here. Let me flip this camera around. So, alright, so it's probably the best I can do because it's still attached. But, and right here, You just literally just spin this off. Second. Alright, so I got it off. You literally spin this off. And so this is what it looks like this. And all it is just a little screw that's in there. It's just a little screw. So when my boy broke down, all right, I unscrewed this off, and I literally just pushed this on, like I literally just pushed this right on the spark plug. Like, and I just pushed it really hard, and I screwed it, and I just screwed it on the spark plug itself. So we can get home. It was like 25 minutes out, so it was definitely a thing to do. But that's something I do recommend to have just in case. And one thing I do recommend to have too is a jump box, a portable jump box. That's one of the things I really do recommend, because with these things, is first thing is when you upgrade the big board kit. There's a lot of sun here, but when you upgrade the big board kit, the Kickstarter is not strong, not one bit. It's not the strongest Kickstarter. At a certain point, you can't kick over it and you can get it, but one thing it's not used for it's used for a 50cc, so it don't have the leverage you need compared to, I say, comparison to my bike here. So you have a lot of leverage to kick it over. But for the 50cc, I think I still have it in here too. So this is the Kickstarter. So you don't really have that much leverage to kick it over and stuff. So, and it goes like this, and it goes like this, but you don't really have that much leverage to kick it over and stuff. And then sometimes, and to be honest, the reason why I have this one off, because I broke it. Not this, but I actually broke the gears that's for the Kickstarter that's in it, on the casing. So, and then on top of it, I do recommend to bring a couple bolts, like the exhaust studs. The exhaust bolts is definitely prone of the nut, and sometimes it's because all the vibration and stuff like that and stuff, they're prone of just breaking. Sometimes you break the stud, and sometimes it comes off. In my case, reason why I broke my stud, because my exhaust wasn't the best, because I had to re-weld that up. But pretty much, yeah, that's really about it. That's all this rumbling and stuff like that for me to do. And then if you want like a little bit of flow, I do recommend. I didn't buy it yet, but this is called the petcock for the fueling. So how they do is a vacuum that is unplugged. So it's a vacuum that runs by this, and then there's a vacuum by the engine. It pulls the diaphragm out so the gas flow to come in. So the one thing I do recommend is to change that, because those things is definitely not the best. And I recommend to get a style just like how my bike is, off and on, because you will be bypassing this vacuum situation here, and then from there you just have a normal off, on, and off and on, and a stop. So, and yeah, sometimes that could be another prone of things to be happening to as well. And other than that, that's really about it of the moped situations. But yeah, let's go and start working and knocking this out. So if you guys, let me get my screwdriver here. So if you guys have a cranking issue, it takes a little bit longer to crank and stuff like that, and probably it's not running the best or whatever like that, then most likely it will just be a carburetor is clogged. And also, this is the one thing, trick, before I even start working on this bike and stuff like that. So if you ever on a road and let's say you're going to work or whatever like that, you're out and about, you're not home, you're trying to crank over the bike, it's not cranking. Don't crank it over too long because it's probably not going to start. This is one trick that I always do on carburetors. So this is a trick for even anything that has a carburetor besides a car, because you could probably do on that too, but that's a whole entire different issue. So I'm talking about weed whackers, lawnmowers, snow blowers, anything that has a carburetor, bike, moped, scooter, whatever. Take off your filter pod right here. You take it off. If you don't have a screwdriver, then these things are very easy to break. So, because all this is coated by glue right here. So really, if you don't really have a screwdriver, all you have to do is just kind of like push it down hard, and these things will kind of break off, honestly, if you're in a crunch. So the one thing I do is, if you take your hand, and this is a little trick to diagnostics too. If you take your hand, you put your hand fully over the carburetor, like I'm talking about, just block it off. You're gonna crank over the engine. You're gonna feel a little bit of gas on your fingers. After when you feel gas in your fingers, that's how you, and then that's gonna like force gas into the chamber or so like that. Just a little bit. It's like spraying brake clean, but without the brake clean or starting fluid. And then from there, you crank it over, and then after that's gonna start. But if you don't have gas coming on your hand, that means that your carburetor is clogged, and you have to take off the bowl that I'm going to be showing you right now. But in my case, I didn't start this thing in a while, so I'm not going to just sit here and try to crank it over and try to hope and dream this thing will start. I'm going to actually just do it, just do what I have to go and do. All right. Okay. Oh, this thing was unplugged too. Okay, so after I got the carburetor out, yeah, so this thing was unplugged. So that is not a problem, but that's something that's a concern, that cause these is let me take this. So if you guys don't know, but if this wire right here, this is for automatic choke. So that's how the bike, it automatically chokes it when it's cold, and then after that, when it warms up, it lets loose. So in my case, it was not plugged in. But I'm going to be changing this whole entire carburetor down the line and get a carburetor style like how my bike is, because it's supposed to be a little bit more airflow compared to these stock 50cc carburetors. Because when you're full open throttle, you're not really full open throttle until that this diaphragm inside the carburetor opens up. And by diaphragm, I kind of mean this. And you're not gonna be full open throttle until this opens up. Because even if you're full open throttle, right? I'm gonna just hold throttle. That opens up, but that means you're not gonna be full open throttle until that diaphragm opens up. So that's the reason why probably down the line, I am going to be changing this carburetor to at least like a 125 dirt bike carburetor, or just like I don't know what's the carburetor that's like on dirt bikes, like 80cc carburetor. I think that's another one, like 85. Alright, so let me just get this thing ready and get this thing out the way, and yeah, I'll show you guys what to do first. Okay, that's it for me rumbling and talking too much. So when you have fueling issues, you want to take apart these screws. If you have a stock 50cc carburetor, these screws will be sliced off. So You can take apart if you just have a bolt, like a nut extractor and stuff like that, or like a bolt extractor, kind of like a drill a hole and stuff like that and extract it out. But it just if you want to save money, do it that way. But these carburetors is honestly don't cost that much. You could probably get it for like not $10, but like 28 bucks, $35, and it comes in a new spark plug. So yeah. But if you do have an aftermarket one, then this is an aftermarket stock one, so it's kind of like an upgrade. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is take apart these screws, and I'm going to use some 2 hands because honestly I'm not trying to strip the nut because it is made by soft, looks like it's brass, so, or it's like a brass coating that's aluminum. So alright, so let me just take these things apart. Okay, so these 2 screws right here is extremely tight, so because I didn't take apart this thing in a while, so that means I'm gonna get my toolbox. I have a couple more tools that I can get to take off those screws because honestly I'm not trying to strip them. So I have a Phillips socket that is attached to a ratchet, so I have a little bit more leverage and braking force to take off those screws off. Yeah, I'm not gonna try to have this video going too long. I took a little break, and I'm gonna skip this thing until I'm gonna skip it until you're gonna see everything put on. The battery's gonna be in. I'm probably gonna take it off of this bike. Maybe I take that battery out and put jumper cables on it and stuff like that. But yeah, you're gonna see this thing start up very soon. And yeah, I have everything cleaned up, so all I had to do was put everything back together. And pretty much, yeah, so just stay tuned, stay tuned, watch the end of the video. You guys are gonna see a burnout very soon, how to pump up the tires and stuff like that, put the carburetor back on. Hopefully I do got gas. If we don't, we had to go and sacrifice some of the gas on my bike and put some in there. So just stay tuned. I'm gonna put a new filter on it too as well, because I got some extra filters, and if you could probably see one that's right there. Yeah, so it's gonna jump until I get everything fixed back on together. So yeah. Okay, so we have this batteries in there. The battery is dead, but we do have a jump box, and worst case scenario I could just put some jumper cables on it and jump it off from there. But all right, so how to get my keys. It's definitely I was a couple hours later because I was on the phone with my boy and I was talking to him for a little bit. But yeah, just stay tuned. It's just close. You guys gonna see that burnout coming very soon. Do it in the front yard. On the backyard, it's gonna be a little bit. Definitely got chilly. The sun is going down, so hurry up so I can get this video out, because I'm not trying to do this tomorrow. That's something I'm not trying to do. Alright, so woo, it's running, it's good. A lot of work into it. So the battery is dead though, so it ain't gonna start up again because it's completely dead. But if runs, it starts, everything is good on it. So now what we're gonna do is just push this. Probably gonna restart it up again because I'm gonna just push this bike all the way to the front, get everything back in, and restart up with this jump box, put some air back in the tires, and it's burnout time. It is burnout time, so just stay tuned. I know this video is probably long. I'm gonna try to edit a lot of this out because I'm not trying to get this thing too much, but I'm just hyped. get everything started. Everything is running, not smooth, but it's running, except for this one. Stay tuned for this one. But we ain't here for that video. We here for this. So give me like, for you guys, a couple seconds. For me, it's gonna be for a little bit. But I'm gonna clean up all this stuff up and put this and push this moped to the front and do a burnout for you guys. So okay, so the moped is running right now. I got it started. Have it in the front of the yard. So prop this thing up. Put some water on the floor. I had some water in here. Pour some water on the floor right here. And then this is burnout time. Okay. Boil it in water. Stalled out. But all right, so yeah, the bike stalled out, but because the battery is completely dead, so I can't complain. But that was a burnout. that was one of the best burnouts I ever did for the whole entire time. All right, so let me start this thing. So what happened was the jump box died. So let me just get my jumper cable. So that was one of the best burnouts I ever did. Hopefully I got that on camera. But yeah, she's having a little bit issues after this burnout, but hopefully she ain't blown up. As she is, it is what it is. 150 swap. Yeah, just 150 swap for it. I rolled the window up in a bit, but yeah, I think I popped the fuse off of like the battery terminals, or the starter is completely shot. I'm not 100% sure, but I know it's cranking over very, very slow. So I think I just locked her up, so I'm not sure. But And just like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one. And then I guess the next video we see is the aftermath of that burnout, what we actually did to the motor. So it is what it is. Cause I beat this motor is on its last legs. This thing, I beat the mess out of this thing for like 5-6 years. So yeah, just like and subscribe. See you guys in the next one.